This is the first time I've been out to take exercise since lockdown. It's the first time I've also been out with a camera since coming back from Yorkshire at Christmas, and it's the 9th of February. I just haven't felt like I found the time. At the weekends I've been editing the Yorkshire videos, and evenings of course they're too dark to get out and take anything. So yeah, it's been challenging, isn't it? I suppose to a degree mentally challenging. I do love getting out, but I haven't felt like I've wanted to. You know, the idea of going out is fine, and then when it comes to doing it, I don't know, just stuff's getting to me, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, here I am out today. I'm travelling very, very light today, very intentionally, because I don't want to be bogged down with things like tripods. In actual fact, I've got a tiny backpack, and for the first time I'm actually trying out the Insta 360 1X2. It's doing a complete 360 recording of this. I can reframe it as I wish and such. Now ordinarily I'd use an Osmo Pocket to do this work, but I felt with the weather being as it is, it was perhaps more sensible to not bring something out that's not going to like the snow and the wet so much. I decided to come down to the riverbank, which is just a relatively short walk from home, just travel very light and get what I hope going to be some interesting wintry shots. Well, let's talk about travelling light. Now, ordinarily I've got quite a lot of kit with me, and it kind of bogs you down. Now, having all of the kit obviously gives me as much creativity and as much functionality as I could possibly have. You know, often I've got the drone strapped to my back, and I've got an Osmo Pocket, I've got a mirrorless camera in there, bits of snow on me, and it's not terribly heavy. The mirrorless camera's not very much, and once it's on your back, it's in a backpack, it's not too bad, but I'll tell you what, you can't get through doors with it. But I thought, well, I'll just pack a really small bag today, because if nothing else, all of my bags face down when you have to open them, and that's a real nightmare, because facing down when you've got to open them means that the bit that connects to my back is going to be on the snow, which means that I'm going to get wet when I put this thing back on, having taken something out of it. And the same is true of this small one, but at least a small one I can kind of hold in my arms and take things out, very gingerly, but take things out, and it's easy enough for that, and there's no weight to it, so it's not a problem. And travelling light today has given me the opportunity of just walking without having worried about dropping things and carrying tripods and everything else. But walk with me and we'll head a little bit further up here. Well, actually, I don't know, the scene that's straight in front of me, looking back towards the riverside complex, and yeah, I quite like that. It's just got the scene running right the way through it with the path, so you've got a leading line, got a bit of snow. Maybe I'll try that out. Get a lens cloth out as well. It's going to be pretty cool here. There's a load of geese flying over, and the reserve over there. So, just a snap really, nothing much more. As much as I love walking along here and taking photos, one of the problems I find with taking photos in Norfolk and around the Broads, which is my chosen place to live, and it's incredibly photogenic, but it does have a real problem with it, and that is the total lack of any landscape features. Pretty much, unless it's man-made, everything around here is flat. That poses for me a lot of problems in creating good landscape photography, because it's basically all land and all sky. Now, if the sky is as varied as we've got here, that's perhaps not a problem. And of course we've got some trees and such around. But one of the issues that I currently have is I've chosen to come out later on in the day after most of the snowfall has been and gone, and it's all here, and there is literally nothing on the trees. So there's a challenge one way or another there, because I can't even take photos of trees that are snow covered, because they're not. So whether I'm going to come up with anything today that's interesting, and of course this is my perception of interesting, because I live here. Let's see what's down here, and I have perhaps this perception that it can be difficult to get photographs in. Maybe that perception's wrong. I don't know. It's sometimes very awkward to get your head in the right place for doing something like this, because you'll know this yourselves, most people will anyway. You always, if you're going out or you're going on holiday, you never go on holiday and rarely go out for entertainment in your local area. I used to live in London, and the number of attractions and places in London I simply haven't been is quite astonishing. That's not so true of Norfolk, but I think I've become perhaps blasé about it, and I don't always see the beauty of what's in front of me. I'm going to see whether I can capture some images from where I am here, because right over there is a derelict wind pump, and it always holds some photographic interest for me, and this is where I might put a longer lens on. Well, another schoolboy error today. I decided that I was going to do the audio recording on the little Zoom recorder that I've got in my pocket onto a lav mic, and I put a new battery into it the other night, and I didn't appreciate just how short its battery life was going to be today, so I have had to disband that idea now, which is rather annoying, because it's it's dead, and I didn't bring another battery with me because I didn't think I needed to. Can I do this damn thing up? I don't know. I'm making a real patch of it. So we've got a 40 to 150 on here, which in full frame equivalent is 80 to 300, so it's quite a range on it. I'll try and get all of that tree in if I can. And somewhere around there, I think. I stopped right here because this wind pump is right between two trees, so I'm going to shoot that because I've got some natural framing. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, but let's put this down. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about being a flat landscape. trying to find something to create a bit of depth that isn't just the horizon and the sky, and do a couple of shots here, getting in very close, a bit further away, and somewhere in the middle. Now, that's a shame we've got the electric pole in the background there. I might choose to remove that later. Yeah, quite happy with that, I think. Let's move on. I can get these birds. Right. Oh, lots of editing to do later because I'm not pressing the record on off here. And I'm going to have to swipe through a lot of this video and do lots of cuts and such. Hey, all part of the fun. There's a lot of what I imagine is military aircraft activity out there. You can't see, it's above the cloud, although there is some blue sky which you can see there, but certainly no planes. Now, what do I do with this windmill again here? I'm afraid this video is going to have lots of shots of this windmill because I'm struggling for another subject. Now, I wonder whether a portrait would be better. Actually, yes, that's a lot better. Yeah, so I'm shooting at f10. I'm going to take that aperture down f6.3 because what I do not want to do is get these reeds that are in the foreground in focus. Now I don't know whether I have, or they're a lot more in focus at f10 than they are at f6.3. So, as you might expect, but I don't want those in focus. And I am shooting right though, yeah, straight through them. Let me know which of these two that you prefer in the comments down below. I've probably flown out the electric pylon thingy behind it, just to create a cleaner look to it. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there that's going to say, you can't do that. You can't play with the landscape and take out the bits you don't want. Tell you what, I can. But of course, if I walk a little bit further this way, I can completely lose that electric pylon behind the mill in any case by just changing my angle on it. And it's always an important thing for anyone in photography to realise, of course. If you just change your position on something, you can lose elements of an image you don't want by just hiding them behind a subject, another object. Let's hope this is actually going to work here, because I don't want to get to a point where I've got a damn great tree in the background, just at the point where I'm achieving that loss. And indeed, I've almost kind of got that problem here. As I'm going behind, I've got a tree over there. I'm out of the way of that. It's not so bad actually. I'll see what I can get as a composition here. Put you down there again. It's all very hands-on, this video, isn't it? I do hope this audio is working, because if it isn't, there we go. It's a much nicer shot. We're close in. Lots of negative space in this shot. Well, another schoolboy error. Not only did I forget to bring a spare battery for the recorder, I've also forgotten to bring a spare SD card for the Insta 360 camera. And I went to the lot of trouble of actually emptying a couple of cards as well, but stupid me, I didn't actually put them in the bag. So now I'm vlogging on my Olympus mirrorless. It's the first time I've done this, so I have no idea what's happening. I do realise you're probably getting quite a lot of wind noise. I do apologise. Wind's coming from kind of behind me, so if I go there, perhaps you won't get so much of it. Oh, heck, snow, and quite a lot of it as well. I thought I'd stay out a little longer. I mean, let's face it, I've got about a mile to walk to get home, so I'm stuck in this no matter what. So what I was saying a little earlier about not having foreground and such. Now, when you've got a sky like this, perhaps you don't need it. You're a bit stark foreground, and well, I quite like that. I like it in camera. I have no idea what it's going to come out like as a photo. We're going to give it a go. And as I was walking home, the sun was going down, breaking through the snow clouds, and I got this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.